Hey guys, welcome to the weekly update. This is my weekly update for the vlog for my CrossFit journey for 2020. This has been an interesting week. So the first thing up is that I am now doing 2-a-days 3 times a week. So what that means is that about 5 days a week, I am doing my WODs in the morning. So workout of the day every single morning, 5 days a week, with rest on Thursdays and Sundays. 3 days a week, I am doing in the afternoons a weightlifting program with my coach. So I meet with him once a week, but I'm actually doing a program 3 days a week focused on Olympic lifts. So I've been doing a lot of cleans, a lot of snatches, and part of it is really getting that motion, really getting that practice in so that I get better at lighter weights, so that as I progress, I can start moving those weights up. I'm a decently strong guy, but I'm not great when it comes to these Olympic lifts. Now, one of the problems that I have found this week is my lack of finesse, as I like to describe it. It is a lack of finesse. So I like to, I joke around and I say that, I'm like a big lumbering gorilla in the gym sometimes. And to some extent, I still feel like that. Especially in a CrossFit gym, where I still have quite a bit of imposter syndrome going on. And so when I get in there and I am this guy who I pick things up. That's been my lifting career, so to speak, for so long that it is grip it and rip it, right? But this requires much more nuance, much more finesse. So one of the things we found in my PT session this week was I'm just gripping the bar too tight. Because I'm thinking deadlift, I'm down there and I'm like, okay, well now instinctively I'm going into a deadlift position because I'm getting ready to snatch or clean. So it's a very similar position at the bottom. So I'm down there and I'm gripping that bar so damn tight. And I'm like, no, hook grip, light grip, let it float, let it float. And that's what I just have to keep remembering. My other problem is I overthink everything. And so every single motion is sort of overthought, and so therefore I tend to screw up, one or two steps here or there because I'm overthinking it. So letting go of some of that overthinking and having a little bit more finesse and a little bit of a lighter grip on the bar, I'm starting to see improvements. That's the great thing, is that no matter what you do, as long as you're progressing, as long as you are improving every single day, every single week, that's what's important. I may not be the best Olympic lifter in the gym. I may not be able to hold myself up on the rig with my grip for more than 20 seconds at a time, but it's an improvement over where I was. When I started CrossFit a month and a half ago, I was able to hold myself up for maybe 5 seconds on the rig before I fell down. I can now hold a pretty decent dead hang for about 20-25 seconds at times. So the grip strength is really improving. To kind of improve that, I've been really focused on these grippers, really kind of digging in and getting these squeezed up so that I can improve my grip. I'm also doing some other things such as plate carries and farmer's carries, really just trying to improve the overall grip of my hands, improve my forearm strength, and that's going to translate into better performance, especially as I move into some of this gymnastic stuff. Which brings me to nutrition. So one of the things about the gymnastic stuff is I am a large object and I have a lot of pull towards the earth. It's called gravity. And I always joke because I have a fear of heights. So getting up on those boxes really freaks me out sometimes. But I really don't have a fear of heights. I have a fear of gravity. And my fear of gravity is that I don't like it. It don't like the gravity. And so I had to overcome this fear of gravity. One of the things I did to overcome my fear of gravity is to fall directly on my ass. So I was actually doing some kipping knee raises a couple weeks ago and went flying off the rig when my rip gave out, landed directly on my ass. So I had two options. I could piss and moan and whine about how I was a failure, or I could get up and go to the next station. I took the latter and said, you know what, I'm just going to get up and I'm going to keep moving. Got on the rower and just banged out my row session. That's all you got to do sometimes. You know, you can't dwell on it. You're in the moment, just keep moving. If you're injured, you're injured. But if it's just a little bit of a soreness and you can keep moving, you keep moving, right? So because I am a large object and because gravity is a thing, gymnastics and grip and just the general pull from the ground and me, I have to get lighter. So I know I have to get lighter regardless because I want to shed body fat, which is going to make me lighter. So what do? Well, what's the best way to get lighter? Dial in your nutrition and bust your ass. So these are all things I know. I know how to do this. I've done this before. And I got lost. I got lost a little bit. And I've talked a little bit about this on this channel, but I have gotten lost a little bit and now I'm finding my way again. And so I'm getting back into it. So because I started the 2-a-days with the weightlifting, Olympic lifting effort, I didn't want to throw too much at myself at once. So I'm slowly ramping up my activity. So one of the things I'm going to be adding in on a regular basis now is some low intensity steady state. This is what I have found the best way for me to lose weight. So that's what I'm going to do. Low intensity, steady state cardio and start to shed some pounds, dial in nutrition, keep myself just a notch below maintenance so that I can just bust out activity, keep my energy levels up, and just kill my workouts and just keep focused on improving. And that's all I can do. And recover. So let's talk a little bit about recovery. So I got this thing. It's called a Whoop. And the Whoop tells me things like how well I've slept, how well my body is recovering, and how well my body will respond to stimulus. So far, it's actually pretty damn accurate from what I've found. One of the things I've noticed is on Thursday, which was my rest day, I had the lowest amount of recovery, and that was due to a high volume of work the 3 days prior. Thankfully, it was recovery day, so I knew that I needed to really dial it back. I needed to dial it back, and the data showed I needed to dial it back. My heart rate variability was down, my resting heart rate was up. And so once I took that rest day, what I found was the next day, I was recovered. And I actually did a really good job in the gym on both my WOD and on my lifting session because I took the time, I rested, and I let my body recover. So I'm seeing changes in my body already. Now, my body weight hasn't really gone down, but I am seeing a little bit of recomping from what I can tell. And you know what? A lot of times the best measure for how well you're doing is the mirror. How do you look in the mirror? And I'm feeling a little bit more confident looking in the mirror and seeing myself and thinking, okay, I'm seeing progress. And so physically, I'm seeing that progress. And from a very measured standpoint, I'm seeing my lifts go up, I'm seeing my form improve, my squats, my bodyweight squats have improved tremendously over the last 6 weeks. And I know I'm gonna just see that getting better and better because I'm on a committed path in a program that is driven to get me performing, not as a general person, but as an athlete. And that's what I want. I want to train like an athlete so that I can be an athlete. And that's what I want. And I tell my coach, I'm like, treat me like an athlete, train me like an athlete. This was how Andrew trained me to some extent. He trained me like an athlete. You know, he had expectations of me, and I had to follow through on those. Same thing here. I can't do this. I can do this. Okay, I can do this, but it's better when you have a coach, somebody who's driving you. There's a reason why coaches are important. There's a reason why coaches are so valuable, because they drive you. They really key in to what you need in the moment and get you moving and get you improving every single day. So I'm going to train like an athlete so that I can be an athlete. And does that mean that I'm going to wear myself out a few times a week? Yeah, it does. But you know what? As long as I'm maintaining my schedules at work, as long as I'm maintaining my workouts, as long as I'm maintaining my weightlifting sessions, that's what's important to me. These are the things that are important to what I want to achieve in life as I look towards the next couple of years, thinking about things I want to do, thinking about maybe competitions I might want to enter, and thinking, you know what? This is what I want. This is what I want to do, and this is where I want to focus my efforts so that I can be the best athlete I can be. And it's as simple as that. All right, guys. By the way, new equipment. So please bear with me over the next few weeks as I am learning new equipment. And so one of the things is I have a new camera, a new microphone system, kind of tweaking the lighting in here, and I'm gonna be updating some of my backgrounds a little bit. I'm really excited about this because this really lets me take my creative outlets to a new level. And so we all talk about goals and we talk about fitness goals, but I also have these creative goals. I want to learn how to do photography and videography. I want to learn how to handle lighting. I want to learn how sound works. Not sound works, but you know, I know what sound is, okay? But I want to learn how to maximize sound in terms of, you know, videography, movie making, that kind of thing, and really sort of key into some of those creative outlets. So this is really exciting for me because this is something I've wanted to do for a while. And so now I'm just taking this opportunity and really digging into it. So it's going to be fun. And, you know, but I will tell you guys, I looked at that menu the first time when I pulled up the camera and I'm like, oh boy, what have I gotten myself into? But I think I did okay for the first round, but you know what? I may ask questions, give me feedback, and you know, honestly, this is just going to be an ongoing learning process, and you're going to see these videos evolve, both in terms of the technical aspect, as well as me getting more comfortable with doing these types of videos. One of the reasons, just to end this, one of the reasons why I've been doing these videos is because I do have some social anxiety. And so I think that by putting myself out there in a very vulnerable state, I think it's helping me to kind of express myself and also get me more comfortable with being vulnerable to a more wide audience, which in turn means that I can improve myself outside of this sphere by doing this. And that's part of it. It's part of it. It's not the whole thing, but it is part of it. So, you know, please bear with me. And, you know, I appreciate if you watch these things. I do this more for myself, but I hope I inspire someone. I hope that my journey inspires someone to maybe take that leap of faith and know that they can do more than maybe what they thought. Because if you asked me 4.5 years ago if I thought I would be doing kipping knee raises and throwing barbells over my head and snatches and jerks, I would have just chuckled and laughed and said no. But here I am. Here I am swinging from bars and throwing up barbells and just busting my ass. And I'm exhausted some days, but you know what? I'm really genuinely enjoying this. Probably more than anything I've done in a long, long time. So, this is exciting for me, and I just want to share that with the world.